It is time to take a trip back to 1964. The World Series champion, Cardinals, after beating the Yankees in 7 games. New York winning its 29th AL pennant in 44 seasons. But look at the runners-up in the National League. A tie after the Phillies coughed up first place by losing 10 in a row to end the month of September. Now, all of that is chronicled in a new book, Baseball's Bizarre Season, Recollections of 1964. And the author? It's former Astros broadcaster Bill Brown, now on Sports Extra. Bill, why 1964? I know it was bizarre, but is it more about that's the first season you really remember from your childhood?
It was part of that, and when the Astros season was coming down to the end and there was a possibility of a 3-way tie with the Astros and Rangers and Mariners, I just wondered, when's the last time this happened? And it may have happened since 64, but I remembered that great race in 64. I know there was also a great one in 67 with the Impossible Dream, but growing up as a Cardinal fan, of course, we remember 64.
There are some stories from your childhood. Did all that stuff really happen?
No, it didn't happen.
I mean, you witness a bank robbery.
That didn't happen.
Home, that didn't happen.
No.
Your home catches fire.
That happened.
And then your town is leveled by a tornado.
That happened. They didn't happen in the same year.
Okay.
But so...
Because I was going to say, you talk about bizarre. Yeah, that's a bizarre season.
Well, I wrote a fiction book last year, and I had so much fun doing that. I thought, I need to put some fiction in here so people are going to think you had the worst luck of anybody. No, not really, not really. Actually, it was kind of dull around there growing up, so I thought the book needed a little spice.
Looking back at 1964, is it more about the Phillies' collapse or the end of the Yankees dynasty?
I think it's equal. And, you know, Bobby Richardson talked about that. He could see the end of the Yankee dynasty coming. They were cutting back on some minor league teams. They were making some bad trades, some short-sighted ones to try to extend an era. Sound familiar? And so that's really what he saw coming. And then the next year, of course, they were nowhere near what they had been. But the Phillies' collapse was unparalleled. Now, as some of their players pointed out after the season, if we had lost 10 in a row earlier in the season, it wouldn't be a memory that sticks with you like it did at the very end of the season.
What was it like growing up in the Midwest, being a Cardinals fan?
Everybody loved the Cardinals. They were really an institution. You know, back in those days, you had one TV game per week, usually the game of the week, on the network Saturday afternoon. The rest of the time, listened on radio. So it was Harry Carey and Jack Buck making the game come alive, painting the picture, and it was just magical.
There are so many books written about 1964. Was it a challenge to come up with a fresh angle or put your spin on it?
Very much. That was the biggest problem was, okay, all these books have been done. You can't do one of those books again now, even though it's many years later. You just can't do that. There are copyright problems and things of that nature. So I wanted to do a little bit more of a growing up in Missouri type of approach, a small town approach, and attack it that way. And also just kind of pick and choose what I felt were the most salient points of these different books and try to combine them together. I wanted to tell the stories of the Phillies and the Cardinals and the Reds and the Giants and, you know, and the Yankees and all these teams, and just what baseball was like then.
Here's another bizarre item. The MVP of each league? Well, neither Boyer nor Brooks finished in the top 10 in wins above replacement. Baseball's Bizarre Season by Bill Brown, now available on Amazon.